Hey guys, Sith Lord Lumley here, and today I'll be doing a review for one of my good buddies, Seth here. He'll be playing Annie in the mid lane. So Seth is somebody that I've known for a while, and he's actually a really good player, but it seems like he's struggling a little bit right now. So I'm guessing the mistakes he's making are probably easily fixable things that, you know, if he just cleans a couple of his decisions up, he'll be able to easily start climbing again. So the first thing I noticed, I'll speed this up here a little bit.
Minions have spawned.
You'll see here as the laning phase starts. So I already watched most of this game already. But one thing you'll notice right here, Echo's up here. Echo's pretty close range, attacking his minions. Seth is Annie, a ranged character here, should be auto-attacking him and punishing him for being this close to his minions. You know, he's got the range advantage. She can easily auto-attack him a couple times and make him pay for having to come this close to take these minions. Because none of these minions are close to dying. He shouldn't be this close until, you know, he's ready to actually come in and go for these minions. But he's sitting here, he's pushing the wave, he's auto-attacking them. And, you know, as a result, he gets to be able to walk close and get an easy Q on Seth, get this damage down on him, and none of that damage is traded back. So he gets to keep pushing the wave, keeps running into the tower, and right here, I would say the one thing you should be doing is you should be auto-attacking him and putting damage down on him. You can't really retaliate unless he comes up to melee you, and, you know, he's level 1, his only ranged ability at all is his Q, so, you know, it's untradeable damage if you start auto-attacking him. Not to mention Annie has an insanely long auto-attack range. He should be punished for walking this close that early. And it's kind of a theme throughout the phase. So, you know, he's going to walk up here. You know, as Annie, you could easily just, you know, step up right here, right by that minion, and auto-attack him away from it, so it makes it a lot harder for him to get this. So, you know, he's got to make a decision. Does he want to continue taking your damage to go up and take this minion, or is he going to back off and mitigate some damage but lose the CS? But, you know, with moving away from it, he can easily, you know, he can take the minion and he can just, you know, walk into you. And so this trade starts with Echo at full health, but after you see where it ends, you know, a Q, a W, and a couple auto attacks, he's almost dead. But this amount of health, that easily could have been done in the first couple of seconds, just auto attacking him when he walks straight up into that wave. So Seth ends up living, Echo ends up living, but I think with a little more early aggression, either he wouldn't have, either wouldn't have all end you there, or you could have been able to kill him once he did, especially since you still have Ignite. Right, so I'll speed this up a little bit. I don't know why it keeps jumping away from you. Alright, so my second point, you kind of just saw it here, that I had listed, was anticipate skill shots a little bit. That one you did a good job of that. But it seems like a lot of times Echo is just walking clearly right up to you and cueing you in the face. And it seems like there's very little anticipation because you're so focused on the wave. So I'd say just kind of anticipate if, you know, Echo makes an aggressive move towards you. If you're not going to try to trade that damage back to him with auto attacks or abilities, you know, at least react a little bit more to his advances if he's gonna, you know, most likely just walk up and try to cue you to put some poke down. So that's unfortunate. You were unable to help on that. I don't know why Warwick ganked on that, but it's bronze for you. Yeah. So okay. So two main points so far is in lane. Make sure you're auto attacking, especially into a melee matchup. You know, Annie's auto attacks don't feel like they do a lot, but her range is so far that, you know, you can get a lot of autos down and eventually, you know, chunk them down maybe a fourth of their health, so that Q QW combo if you hit a stun on him. If they have minion aggro, you know, it might lead to them dying. Or at least, you know, at the very least, it'll make them less likely to continue walking up to you and queuing you square in the face. Because, you know, this Echo's realized that, you know, you're super passive. What he just keeps doing is he's going to just keep running you off your wave so it's harder for you to CS. And, you know, whenever you walk forward, he's going to walk up and just queue you. So, the other thing, next point that I noted was, I'll bring the scoreboard up here. You're already falling behind a little bit in CS, and it's easy to just say, you know, CS better, and everyone says that. But I think the main thing that you do that, you know, if you improved on it a little bit, that could help your CSing a lot, is not randomly auto-attacking minions. So if you watch here, you know, you auto-attack this one when it's not low health. You auto-attack this one when it's not low health. And because of that, you know, you have to contend with 4 different minions hitting it while you try to weave your auto-attacks in, and you're Annie, so you're not building attack speed. So, you know, it's really difficult when you don't have your Q up to beat those minions to auto-attacking when there's 4 different ones hitting it. So what you should be doing is, instead of randomly auto-attacking these minions, you should be auto-attacking Echo, and then when a minion's about to die, then you can auto-attack it. But like, if you notice, this Echo is full health almost this entire lane. When, you know, you have your Q, you have your W, you have your stuns, you have your auto-attacks, you know, you should be putting poke down on him and focusing on making laning phase difficult for him. Like, he might not even be the best CSer in the world, but, you know, if he's laning against somebody who's not attacking him, it's going to inflate his CS numbers because, you know, he's got nothing to worry about. He can walk up and Q you off of a wave, and then he can freely CS that wave. Alright, I'm going to try to lock onto you, so hopefully he doesn't jump away. So yeah, like, you do a good job of CSing with your Q, but it seems like when it's not up and you're trying to just get it with your auto attacks, you know, it's pretty hit or miss if you're actually going to get it. Like that one there, it seemed like you could have autoed it, but you were waiting for the cooldown on your Q. So yeah, so let me just recap real quick the main points that I think could really help your laning phase. So, especially against a melee matchup, you know, work on poking your enemy. Don't focus so hard on just solely auto-attacking creeps the whole time, because that's how Echo has been free to just, you know, Q you in the face, do damage to you, and you haven't really been trading that back. That, you know, that enables him to run you off of a wave while he's still sitting there full health. Second thing is anticipate skill shots a little bit. I think that kind of goes with the first point. It seems like, you know, you're kind of zeroed in on those minions, and so when he moves forward aggressively to Q you, you're too focused on the minions that, you know, you're not seeing him do that until it's a little too late. So he's hitting a pretty high percentage of his Qs. And then just the last thing is just, you know, save your auto attacks until the minions are about to die. You know, when they're like a third health, and you go to auto them, and then you try to slip another auto in when your cannon creeps in there, like, it seems like, you know, at least 6 out of 10 of the minions you're missing because of that, when you could, you know, just save your auto until it's a little bit lower, and then, you know, have a much higher percentage chance of getting that. Okay. Okay, so here, actually, this is actually a perfect point. So, this right here, so, waves in the middle of the lane, Echo decides to just roam. I'll bring up the chat. You do a good job of pinging a couple of different times to let him know he's gone. But the thing is, he's left lane. He's not near any minions. You don't really punish him very hard for it. So if we watch, you know, you're queuing the waves to CS, which is fine. But, you know, what you should be doing is running this wave directly into this tower. You should be using your W, you should be blowing this wave up. He should be missing all these minions, and then your next wave, when it gets up into here, it should be crashing with their wave right about here, so he'll miss that entire wave. But by, you know, slowly sitting here and CSing it, you know, the waves are meeting, you know, kind of near the middle, and the tower's not killing this whole wave. He should be missing this entire wave, and then the next wave after that comes, you know, should be meeting more towards his side, and he should be really heavily punished. You should be, so you go to leave here, which is, you know, it's too late. You know, your bottom lane's dead. He's still almost full health. There's really nothing for you to get down here. It's going to take you probably, you know, 15, 20 seconds to walk down here, and unless, I say Warwick's still level 4, so, you know, Warwick's not going to do anything. There's really no reason to come down here. So what you should be doing is, while he's gone, you should be building an XP lead and a gold lead by farming this whole wave. This is a cannon wave right here. You know, that's a good amount of gold. And, you know, Echo roamed. You know, he got some stuff done bottom, but you're missing just as much CS as he is. Like, yeah, he is missing this wave, which is his choice, but he should be missing this entire next wave. Should be crashed into his tower. His tower should be getting damaged, and this second wave, you should be up a wave and a half on him. You should be level 7 right now. So when he walks back to lane, I think, oh, he's level 7 too. So you should at least be matched with him in levels. But no, that's probably, what, 10, 15 minions, a wave and a half worth of experience that you missed out on, you know, roaming late to bottom lane. So I'm going to jump back to this. Seem to want to jump. So yeah, so right here. Oh, no, one more. So yeah, so right here, Echo goes to roam. You know, if you're not already going to match his roam, if you're not already right here blowing this MF up, then it's too late. It's too late. It's going to take you 15 seconds to get down there, and in 15 seconds, you know, your whole the fight's going to be over. They're either going to be blown up, or people are going to be safe and they're going to be backing off. You know, fights don't and or shouldn't last, you know, a full 30, 40 seconds that would enable you to walk down there. You're like, yes, you're Annie, yes, you have ult. It would be nice if you were there, but since you didn't match his roam, the main thing you should be doing is at least running this into his tower, getting tower damage, getting this entire wave and the next wave worth of gold and experience, so that, you know, when he walks back to lane, you know, he got a kill. I think he might have also got an assist as well. Like, that's nice. But, you know, you could have, you know, matched the golden XP that he was getting by at least farming this wave here. So yeah, so, you know, you kind of run down here. Yeah, nothing really gets done. So, you know, you run back. I think that started at like 6:55, so I think there's a full minute wasted. You know, that you could have been farming, you could have been CSing. You know, it could have been easily a level and a half and, you know, a couple hundred gold had you farmed that. It's like, yes, you know, he did miss as much CS and XP as you, but, you know, while he was gone, he was getting kills and assists, and, you know, you didn't really get anything for that. So if you're not going to match the roam, you know, at the very least, run it into the tower and get yourself an advantage off of the CS and the gold. Okay. So yeah. So yeah, so if you watch this, you know, Echo knows your passive. He's just using his E to kind of run you off the wave. But the thing you should be doing is, so Echo just uses E. You know, it's a decent part of his kit. You know, it stuns you and it also gives him a big ass shield, which enables him to fight you. So he just used that, and that ability. Let's see if I can bring up the target frame on Echo. Let's see the cooldown on his parallel. 20 seconds is the cooldown on his E. So you now have a 20-second window where, you know, he can't use one of his 3 abilities, or well, one of his 4. He's past level 6. One of his 4 abilities to fight you. You have your ult, You know, you have all three of your other abilities. He doesn't have a one of his abilities for a decent amount of time. So what you should be doing is, you know, when he aimlessly just throws an E to zone you off of a wave, you should be positioning a little more aggressively, moving up here, and, you know, running them off the CS or trying to trade with him because, you know, he doesn't have the stun, he doesn't have a shield. He can't fight you quite as well. If you walk up and stun him and drop Tibbers on him, he doesn't have that ability, so chances are he's going to have to flash away. And, you know, that it just kind of goes with the passive playstyle that's been going on. Like, you can tell, like, the way he's CSing and the way he's positioning, that he's, you know, not scared in the slightest. You have stun up, and he's still standing right on top of these minions, waiting for them to be low enough. He's still just randomly, aimlessly throwing his E and his Q at you. Like, right... Let me step back a little bit. Right here, he throws his E and his Q. Boom, boom. Missed them both. You still have all your abilities up. He just used two of his main ones, so they're like, you have a 15-second window here where he cannot, in no possible way, match your damage. So, you know, you walk up, you drop, like right here, you're level 7, you've already gone a full level without using your ultimate. You should be walking up, dropping Tibbers on him, blowing him up. Like, yeah, you know, he still has his ult, you might not kill him, but, you know, at the very least, you know, you might run him out of lane. While he's not in lane, you get a CS, you get a gold advantage. So that's I feel like that's the main point that a lot of people just starting out don't understand. You know, they focus on so much on kills. They're just like, well, you know, kills get you a lead. But the thing is, why do kills get you a lead? The kills get you a lead because they give you gold and they give you experience. That's the only thing. You know, almost killing Echo, you don't get the golden experience bonus of actually killing him, but while he's gone out of lane, you can take minions and kill them and get gold and get the experience from the minions that you're killing while he's gone. So it's effectively, you know, almost as good as having killed him if you can just get him out of lane so you can CS freely. And not to mention, like he's been doing, it's pretty easy to CS if somebody's not in your face. So, you know, you'll get a lot more gold because you don't have to worry about somebody trying to poke you while you're doing it. So yeah, that's the other thing too. Almost all the good Annie players that I've played with, as soon as they hit 6, they're either dropping Tibbers or they're calling for a gank so that they can flash and drop Tibbers and make sure they get a kill. It's been, you know, a decent amount of time. You're level 7, so you've already, you know, gone past level 6, gone through level 7, and you're probably almost level 8 at this point. And you still haven't ulted. You know, Annie's kit is so centralized around her ult because her ult is so good that you should be, you know, not just aimlessly dropping it, but trying to force opportunities where you can use it as much as possible. So if you think about it, if you had, you know, forced a trade with him and dropped Tibbers on him, you know, at level 6, you know, by the time you hit level 7, it's going to be up again. So, you know, you might not have gotten a kill at 6, but you would have gotten some use out of it, and it would have been up by this point where you still haven't ulted. So, you know, you're missing out on a lot of damage and a lot of pressure that you could have gotten from using that ult at level 6 and then having it back up at this point. So, you know, by not being aggressive and not trying to force a situation where you can use your ult, you missed out. You know, it's almost as if at like level 6 you just went and just wasted it on blue buff and, you know, didn't even have it. There's a lot of use that you could have gotten out of it by being aggressive and forcing a situation where you could have used it. So I would say that's a big thing that you should focus on is, you know, whenever you have ult up, you should be looking to make plays. You should be looking to, you know, not just waste it or use it just to use it, but, you know, the more times that you effectively use your ultimate, the better off you're going to be. All right. Let's speed this up a little bit. We're still level 7. Galio's just hanging out in the river, not really there. So yeah, if you look at Echo again, he's full health. I don't think he's dropped below full health except for when he's all into you this entire laning phase. You did a good job there of dodging that Q. But like if you just look at his positioning, you know, he's standing right on top of these minions. You're within auto attack range of him. You should be punishing him for standing here. You should make him stand here and, you know, have to try to CS with his Q. You know, if he has to position at the back of his wave versus the middle, you know, his Q would be so much harder for him to hit because you have so much more time to dodge it. And, you know, he would have to be throwing it at the very end of his range instead of, you know, having a chance to hit you and then hit you on the way back. So just being a little more aggressive, poking him with your Q, using your W on him, using your auto attacks to, you know, make him change his positioning. Because, you know, Echo, he's a melee champ. Where he wants to be positioned is mid to short range. Your Annie, you know, you're a caster mage, you give it a long auto attack range. Where you want to be positioned is long range. But, you know, you're not, when he's at long range, you're not really utilizing that to punish him at all. So he's able to walk into his preferred range and be able to trade more effectively with you. If you look at your health, look at his health, he's doing a much better job because he's staying in his preferred lane, or his preferred range, and he's punishing you for it. You know, if he's at long range and you're at long range, you can poke a million times better because it's harder for him to hit the Q. He can't even auto attack you. So, you know, you dodge his Q, his E, you know, he's got to walk so much further to get into his E. You know, you can just keep auto attacking him, you can Q him, and then, you know, he's not going to be able to trade that back. So just, you know, kind of knowing your champion and knowing what range you want to be at and what range you want to trade at is huge. You know, this Echo is doing a surprisingly surprisingly good job of staying in his preferred range and punishing you for it. And, you know, you can see that throughout the whole laning phase. You know, he's letting... God, that's so annoying. Whenever the wave's not at his tower, he's sitting right in the middle of the lane, and he's whipping Qs at you. Like right here, he's at long range. You could be auto attacking him. You know, there's nothing he really could do about it. You know, if he goes to barrel roll onto you, I wish this would just stay locked. If he goes to barrel roll onto you, you have your stun up, and you know you can just stun him, and then he's in the middle of a wave, and he can't trade shit back. So this is another example. Again, you're doing a good job of pinging. That's awesome. You know, whenever somebody leaves, you should be missing pinging, and if they stay gone for more than a couple seconds, it should be danger pings after that. Just to make sure your team is 100% aware that the person's gone, because you know a lot of people don't listen to missing pings for whatever reason it is. So again, this is another good example of you should be Wing this wave. You should be running this wave into this tower. You should be getting tower damage. You are getting the golden XP of this, which is nice. You're not aimlessly just following the gank like last time. But this should already be at his tower. This should already be at his tower. And then, okay, now you are kind of doing what you did the last time. Now you're aimlessly following this. You know, your team's backing off the tower. They're almost dead. You just look at the map here. 1, 2, 3. You know he's bottom. Shyvana's not really in the area, but you don't know about her. But these three, Echo, Lux, MF, you know about them. You know your lane's backing. So even if Warwick does get a good ult off, you're still way too far away. Even if you were closer, you know, you're walking into a 2v3 and they, you know, let's see. Yeah, they still have both their flashes and their heals up. You know, there's really not a lot for you to get unless you walk up, flash, ult them, and kill them. So let's see. You're going back to this, which is good. But if you look at this wave, another cannon wave, Echo's still this far away. This wave should all already be dead to this tower. You should have gotten this whole wave. And then when the next wave gets there, that one should be dying to the tower too. Let's see what Echo does here. Speed it up. He gets a blue buff. And then when he gets back, this wave right here, this should already have been in the tower, but, he gets 3 from the previous wave. And, he's going to get most... Actually, this might be the whole new wave. He should have lost this whole wave, so he gets almost this entire wave. You should have had that wave, because you should have been able to CS it when it was in tower. But instead, Echo, misses half a wave for aimlessly wandering bottom. But, he doesn't really get punished. He doesn't really lose tower damage, And since you had to back... instead, he's going to start to get the CS and XP advantage. Yeah. This is exactly what you should be doing. Whenever your laner's gone, blow up the wave. Blow up the wave and run it into tower. So here, hold on. So he, like a dumbass, stays and tries to fight him when you're coming back. Which is not what you do, but had he backed off after you ran that wave into the tower, you would have gotten all the experience from the one, and you would have missed, all but 3 of these minions. So if we look at the game right now, you've got 58 CS, you've got a couple of good items, you're down quite a bit on CS because he's farming pretty freely, but it's almost 13 minutes in, you're level 9, you're 3 levels past level 6, and that is the first time that you all... That is trying to find the right word for it. It is way less than ideal to be ulting at level 9. I think you probably could have gotten 3 ults off, and with a stun ult, like it had you flashed ulted, or just even hit somebody with ult, chances are out of those 3 ults, you would have at least killed 2 people. So that's a lot of damage, a lot of utility that you're missing out on by not kind of just forcing those plays. Like, yes, I agree. From level 6 to level 9, there wasn't really a good opportunity for you to ult. But the thing is, that's because you weren't actively seeking out situations. You were sitting in lane, you're sitting way behind your wave, and you're being super passive. So, opportunities, your jungler's not always going to just gank and just hold somebody in place for you where it's going to be a perfect opportunity that you can't miss the ult. You have to seek those out. You have to make plays. You got to make things happen. Like if you watch, Antipod or anybody, as soon as he's 6, he's already set himself up that when he turns 6, he's already in a situation to drop his ult and just destroy somebody. He makes plays. And he puts himself into situations where he can use that ult. He doesn't, hope that they just come to him. He actively searches them out and makes plays. If his mid laner's not there, he'll roam bottom lane and he'll flash under tower and he'll blow 2 people up. And he has such a huge power spike, and waiting from level 6 to level 9 to use your ultimate is just taking that time where you are, Echo's ult can be used offensively, but it's pretty hard to be able to do that effectively. So you have big window and a big power spike over him that for those 3 levels you were essentially wasting by just sitting in the mid lane passively farming. It's kind of the same thing on Lee Sin. Lee Sin's power, he's so strong early game because he's so good at dueling, but if you just sit there and farm until you're level 6, after level 6, you start to fall off a little bit, and you wasted your power window. So waiting to ult until level 9 for the first time is essentially the same thing. You're wasting your power window. If you ult right when you're 6, if you ult right when you get it back at 7, Echo's going to have a very hard time to stay in lane. And, the CS discrepancies might be switched the other way. Maybe he can't roam bottom, if you've been chunking him and he's half health. Okay. Alright, I don't want to make this too long of a video, so I've got one more thing that I'd like to touch on. Alright, so it's coming up here, actually pretty quick. So I think, yeah, you don't quite have Tibbers up yet. but he's coming up fairly quick here in a couple seconds. Alright, so boom, right here. You've been passive all laning phase. Echo's doing what he's doing. He's blowing this wave up. Galio's coming down for a gank. He's not very close. If we watch what you do here, you run through the wave to go up and try to fight him. You haven't done this all laning phase, so that is a huge red flag for him to know, holy crap, I'm being ganked. That's your ward, so yeah, he doesn't have anything on this side of the map warded. You know, maybe there's, let me see if there's missing pings. Get the fuck out of your target frame. Nope, yeah, nobody's pinged that Galio's missing. But you know, by going aggressive, walking square through the wave, you're just alerting him, hey, somebody else is coming to help me fight, because I haven't been acting like this. You completely change your behavior. And let him know that the gank's coming. You know, he's shoving this wave in. You know, had you just, you know, stepped back and stayed here, instead of running all the way up here, he probably would have followed you here, giving Galio a much easier time to come and gank. And not to mention, you don't have your flash up anymore, but you still have your stun. So if Galio gets anything on this Echo anywhere in this wave, Echo's donezo, because you're going to hit him with the stun tibbers and he's going to be dead. But instead, you know, you telegraph the gank, you run him off so that he's in a much more safe distance, and, you know, as a result, you know, he ends up, you know, if Eddie followed the wave, he would have been here instead of all the way back here. But, you know, you telegraph the gank, Galio doesn't end up doing anything, and Echo almost dies. And this is another prime example of, you know, as soon as you're 6, you know, you should have been ulting him. Galio didn't help you at all on this gank, but, you know, just walking up, even though you walked through an entire minion wave to do it, you know, you still almost 0 to 100 him, even though he's 20 CS, 3 kills, and a level up. So, yeah, so we'll just take this back one more time, so we just go through that again. So, yeah. Let's see if Galio pings. I guess he doesn't ping, but it still seemed pretty apparent that he was coming in. So, you know, if somebody's coming to gank you, you should be trying to set them up as much as possible, not running the laner to an advantageous position. So, so yeah, so I'll try to do it one time. So, okay, yeah. So yeah, Echo's doing what he's doing. He wants to be aggressive this whole time. While he's running this wave in, as you see this Galio come in, you know, you should go passive and try to bait him into running you into the tower so that Galio has a much easier time to fight. But again, that right there is a perfect example why you should have been, you know, going aggressive on this guy the whole time. You know, if you stun him, he can't trade shit back to you, especially if you have tibbers.
Red team has slain the dragon.
So yeah, so I think that's where I'm gonna end the video. I think I've rambled a little bit, but I think I've provided, you know, pretty good points as to how you can improve your laning phase. So I'll just reiterate back through those one more time. Especially into a melee matchup, use your auto attacks against enemy champions. Anticipate skill shots a little bit better so that, you know, you're not getting hit by quite as many of them. Don't aimlessly use your auto attacks on half health creeps and then try to out auto attack your 5 minions that are also attacking it. So you miss a lot of CS on that. Don't aimlessly wander down the river trying to follow a gank. If you don't immediately follow the gank, at least punish that. You did a good job of pinging, but, you know, at the very least, punish them by running as many waves and doing as much damage to this tower. You know, it's 15 minutes in. Echo's wandered bottom twice. You know, you forced him to back. You've killed him once, and you've done almost no damage to this tower. So many people just undervalue this tower so much. It just blows my mind, because this tower, if this is gone, you're able to walk here. You're able to walk here into the jungle. You're able to walk here. it just opens the map up so much, and especially as Annie, it just enables you. Oh, you put a ward down, Shyvana's at her blue buff, walk over here, alter, boom, easy kill. Oh, bots shoved into the tower, you know, you're able to easily, if you're up here, just walk through the jungle, come down here and dive on bottom. It just opens the map up so much that, you know, if you can focus on putting damage down on this tower and getting this killed as soon as possible, you know, it's really going to open up possibilities. It's really going to help your team out, and it's really going to put a lot of pressure on the enemy team, because, you know, Shyvana's going to have a lot harder of a time farming her jungle if this tower's gone, and people might randomly just be showing up and killing her. So yeah, just, you know, make sure, you know, if you're roaming, if you're going to roam bottom, make sure it's worth your time and that you're going to get something if you roam that time, because, you know, it's a minute that you're not in lane. But if you can't match a roam and your enemy laner's roaming, punish them by running as many waves into this tower as humanly possible. And then final point I would say is your ultimate. Annie's, her main thing that she contributes to her team is her ultimate. Once you have it up, be looking to make plays. If your mid laners staying around half health because you've been poking them, and you can flash ult them and kill them, do it. If you've been poking them enough, they should want to leave lane so that you don't do that. And if that happens, you can run the lane to tower, and then you can do what Echo is doing. You can roam bot, and then you can flash ult somebody down there. You should be actively looking to make plays with your ultimate. Not just like using it on the Echo just to use it, but if you try to go for a kill, if you ult ignite him and he has to blow all of his summoners to survive, then he doesn't have any summoners, and then you're free to CS and farm mid lane. Yeah, so just really, once you're 6, as soon as you can effectively use it, make a play to use your ultimate. Don't waste it, but just kind of try to force something to make something happen. So yeah, so I would say, honestly, if you do those things, if you just poke a little bit better, the couple times that Echo survived with no health, I think he would have died every single one of those times. Instead of him being 3-0, you'd be 3-0, and your bottom lane would probably be doing, how are they doing right now? 1-3. Your bottom lane, they might not be doing great, but they would be doing better because Echo, if he's 0-2, he's probably not going to be roaming. It's going to, take a lot of pressure off the rest of the map if you can keep your Echo in lane, if you can punish him, and you can do your job. So yeah, hope you guys liked this video. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much. I know it's been a while, but hopefully you can get some good helpful tips out of this. So thanks for watching. Hey guys, thank you for watching my video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Feel free to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more League of Legends content. Catch me streaming over at twitch.tv/SithLordLemley. Stream times are posted on my Twitch profile. Thanks again, and I'll see you in my next video.